This year, as the 90th anniversary of the founding of the Talbot County Library, this is a salon. The event is a salon that takes place in 1925, as the salons would have in Paris. And Gertrude Stein is hosting the salon. It's a cocktail party. We're mingling. We're mingling and talking to people, and we give at the beginning of at the very beginning we give a little teaser on what our character's all about. And as George Bernard Shaw, I'm the only person who has received a Nobel Prize, and that was in 1925, and an Academy Award. That was in 1938. That was for Pygmalion, which would later on, after my death, be turned into the Broadway show My Fair Lady, and then following the movie that everyone knows. So my great writing became The Rain in Spain is found mainly on the plain. So these are all sparkling, all these creative people, Mary Pickford, Charlie Chaplin, these are all sparkling personalities at a time when America and Europe was thriving in creativity. No internet, no talking movies to speak of. That it was literature, it was art, it was theater. That was where people came to get entertainment and intellectual enlightenment. Bernard Shaw was the founder of one of the founders of the Labour Party in Britain. He was one of the founders of the London School of Economics. He began his literary career as a music critic, and he then became a theater critic. And for the previous 200 years, this was in the 1909, around this area, this time. Before that, Shakespeare for 200 years had not been performed in its entirety on the London stage. Famous actors would just take the great parts, the to be's and not to be's and those sorts of things, and use William Shakespeare as platforms for their own ego. And George Bernard Shaw, as a literary critic, shamed the great actors into performing Shakespeare in its entirety. And it was the first time in 200 years that people in London were able to see Shakespeare. So George Bernard Shaw wrote essays, he wrote books, he wrote plays, and in 1925 he got the Nobel Prize for Literature for the collective power of his works. He had a mission in life. He had something he wanted to say. Pygmalion, which became, everyone knows as My Fair Lady, which is lovely and has great memorable songs, he did that as a satire between the classes. What was that when people got to know each other, when they began to interact with each other, the class system would begin to collapse. And so the arrogant professor and the flower girl who he thought, I'll elevate her to become to be mistaken for the social elite. She educated him about what it was to be human and to expose his humanity and his empathy. And everybody who goes to these walks away jazzed. Everybody who participates, everybody they enjoy the performances, they learn something, the food is great, the drink is great, they supported the library. $25 of each ticket is tax deductible, so everybody gets something out of it.